A strange thing happened somewhere in humanity's distant past. For millions of years, our ancestors did what almost every animal on Earth still does today. They met, they mated, and then they moved on. No poems, no heartbreak, no jealousy, no sleepless nights thinking about someone, no feeling that one person in a world full of people was somehow special. Then, at some point, something changed. A feeling appeared that had no obvious survival value. A feeling that could make people risk everything. A feeling that could start wars, build families, inspire art, and break hearts. Love. But here's the mystery. Why would evolution create something so irrational? Because if survival was the goal, love seems like a terrible idea. And yet, somehow, it conquered the world. The answer begins not with romance. It begins with a problem. Picture East Africa hundreds of thousands of years ago. Food is uncertain. Predators wait in the grass. Ancient humans are vulnerable. No claws, no fangs, no armor. So how did they survive? Most people think intelligence was the answer. But intelligence alone wasn't enough, because human babies came with a serious problem. Unlike many animals, they couldn't walk, run, or protect themselves. They stayed dependent for years. This created an evolutionary puzzle. How do you keep helpless children alive long enough for their giant brains to develop? Researchers noticed something surprising. Human children require more care than one person can realistically provide, which raises a strange question. What if survival depended on keeping two adults together? Maybe that's why commitment feels so complicated today. Part of us wants freedom. Part of us wants someone who stays. Suddenly, the mystery becomes bigger. Maybe love wasn't created for romance. Maybe romance was created by something else. Researchers studying hunter-gatherer societies noticed a pattern. Across different continents and cultures, long-term pair bonds kept showing up. Not everywhere, but often enough to matter. And the mystery got bigger. These bonds didn't just help children survive. They reduced conflict and made groups more stable. Love wasn't only helping families, it may have been helping entire tribes, because many animals mate, but very few become emotionally attached. Humans didn't just stay together, they wanted to stay together. That's completely different. Evolution wasn't simply changing behavior, it seemed to be changing feelings. But why? The answer may be hiding in something we still experience today. Imagine an ancient hunter preparing for a dangerous journey. The tribe needs him focused. Instead, he keeps looking back toward one person standing near the fire, a woman he can't stop thinking about. Meanwhile, she notices another woman speaking to him. Suddenly she feels uneasy, protective, maybe even jealous. Thousands of years later, the details have changed, but the feeling hasn't. Today, it might be checking who liked your partner's photo, or wondering why they haven't replied to a message. Different world, same emotions. And that's the strange part. Love steals attention, creates obsession, makes one person seem more important than everything else. Which sounds like terrible design, until you realize what evolution might actually be doing. What if obsession was the feature, not the bug? Imagine raising a child during the Ice Age. Danger everywhere, food uncertainty, extreme weather. For ancient humans, childhood lasted unusually long. Children depended on adults longer than almost any other species alive at the time. That meant mothers, fathers, grandparents, siblings, and relatives often helped raise the same child. Survival became a team project. If two adults remained committed, their children gained a huge advantage. Suddenly, those intense emotions start making sense. But another mystery appears. If love evolved to keep parents together, why does it feel so much bigger than parenting? Why does it inspire sacrifice, longing, and heartbreak? The answer takes us deeper. Ancient humans weren't only solving a survival problem, they were solving a social problem. Picture a campfire at night, people sharing food, stories, information. Human survival increasingly depended on cooperation. Trust became valuable. It's not so different from the modern talking stage. Before people commit, they're asking the same ancient question. Can I trust you? And trust is fragile. Groups work best when relationships are stable. Humans needed bonds. Suddenly, love starts looking different, not as a mating strategy, but as a social technology, a way of turning strangers into teammates, individuals into families, and eventually helping build civilizations. But here's the twist. Love may not have appeared because humans became civilized. Civilization may have emerged because humans became capable of deeper bonds. The order might be backwards, and now the clues from the beginning start connecting. Remember the contradiction? Love looks irrational, yet it survived. The same emotion that once protected families is the reason people still lose sleep waiting for a message today. Maybe evolution wasn't optimizing for logic. Maybe it was optimizing for connection. Humans didn't become successful by being the strongest. They became successful by cooperating better, and cooperation becomes easier when people genuinely care about one another. Think about your life. The excitement of meeting someone, the pain of losing someone, the need to belong. The fear of being left alone isn't just emotional. For most of human history, being alone could genuinely be dangerous. The fear of rejection, the comfort of being understood. Those feelings seem personal, but they're ancient, far older than cities, older than farming, older than written language. Some of the emotions shaping your life today were helping humans survive around campfires tens of thousands of years ago. And that's the final revelation. Love didn't evolve because humans wanted romance. Humans got romance because evolution needed connection. Which means the strangest part of all isn't that ancient humans fell in love, it's that every time you do, you're experiencing an ancient survival system that helped shape human history. What feels like a private emotion may be one of the oldest forces that ever turned vulnerable humans into a civilization.